All right, baby. Today is Wednesday. It's December 14th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. It's myself, it's White Sox Dave, and it's Chief. How are we doing today, boys?
I feel great.
White Sox Dave, how are you?
I feel like $1 million, Ed.
Why do you feel so good? $1 million is fucking...
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't feel $1 million.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
like-
should say,
I'm lying.
I walked into the other office and Dave goes, "How you doing today?" And I'm like, "Average. I'm just average."
Yeah.
So
What's
when I
wrong
said
with being average?
nothing.
though?
Well, average mood. I never like to get too high or too low, anyways. But
I'm below average.
why are you below average?
Because I told you, I'm like, I've been around too many sick people. And
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't feel sick, but I'm like teetering.
That's how
Everybody
I
knows
was.
that feeling.
Yeah.
That's like a perpetual winter feeling.
It's the worst.
Yeah,
I
I
had
feel
that for like a 2-week stretch where I would wake up, feel like garbage. I would steam myself out in the shower. I'd be like a 2.5 out of 10 on the 6 scale, enough to like not feel guilty or to feel guilty about not doing any work or something because you're not bedridden. And then at night, I'd feel like shit again.
I'm going to tell you something else. I wrote a blog today for the Bad Smells draft. Don't look at it.
Why?
You'll watch that video, and there's a video that someone tagged me in on Twitter about toilet flushing, and if you watch it, you'll convince yourself that you are actually sick because it's disgusting.
Oh,
I don't need to
Yeah,
see
you don't
that.
need to see it. I wish I didn't.
that's sad enough.
Yeah,
I won't read it. I'll
don't
take
do
your
it.
word for it.
Click on it, but just don't read it.
Yeah, click it.
Yeah.
Just keep it open in a tab.
Thank you,
Do not read it.
and maybe hit play on our podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw it back. We're gonna throw it back, kind of like we did with the Nickelodeon one. We're gonna talk some sporting goods today, in response to a doc we watched, but we're not gonna fully cover that. But we're gonna talk about it. The N1 Untold series. If you guys don't remember, I mean, you guys were N1 guys,
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah. Everybody
That
was.
I'm the oldest. This is one of those instances where being the oldest helps probably the discussion. Usually Dave just shits on me, but that I was prime time for N1. So I don't remember like the mixtapes percentage or per se, but I remember like the merch. Like I was playing like I don't know what you would even call it, like rec league, house league, basketball.
Yeah.
I had like the N1 cut off like undershirt at like the super baggy shorts. Like I wanted to be those guys. And because it was sweet. Like they were cool. They were doing cool stuff. So like watching this, it was like similar to the Nickelodeon. I'm like, oh yeah, main event.
Yeah.
Hot sauce, skip to my Lou.
It was
Like
sweet.
the professor, like all those, like I wanted to be like that was what you did in the driveway.
You know how there's songs that you listen to, especially growing up, where you just get so pumped up, like your football pump-up songs, that you want to like just fucking decapitate someone. When I would watch those, I would grab the basketball and I'd go out to the neighbor's hoop because I didn't have my own basketball hoop growing up, and I would do all the fucking trick shots, and I'd be like, I really fucking suck at this sport, and I'd quit after 5 minutes. But the show was enough to regularly get me to go out and try all the...
Yeah.
You know, and I would grab my brother and I'd off the heezy and shit like that.
That's good to know because I was hesitant to ask you guys to watch this one because you're such a hockey guy and such a baseball guy. So
I like
that's-
all sports.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I
the
hear
NBA
ya.
and everything.
You are,
Yeah.
and you're a pretty good hooper too. So that's
Well,
good to-
when I play, like
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
touched one since that day at UIC. Nice hat, by the way. But when I in like 2018,
Topical.
I was playing like 6 days a week.
topical.
Yeah.
But we'll get into all of it. And also, like I said, I think we're just going to get into like sporting goods and sports in general because it's such a throwback. It's going to kind of be Nickelodeon-esque. I'm sure Dave's going to fucking drool over a black magic bat at some point in this episode.
We can talk about
If I got the right.
I
talk a little Bauer hockey. and
I've
whatnot.
written a blog on my top bets that we had growing up.
I did one on hockey sticks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it played too.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like on the top of the blogger, like
Yeah, it was
the
a good
thing
blog.
we see in the
It was a
back.
good
end.
blog. It was
That
a
was
good
years
blog.
ago, like 2019.
For sure. It was a good blog. But let's talk about some merchandise that is in the now, and that's fucking great right now, and that's Roback, buddy.
I'm wearing it.
You're wearing the hat. White Sox Dave's wearing the hoodie right now, and I got a beautiful polo in my hands, and I got the 312 polo. Roback Activewear, people. Best fit, best feel. Now it's the holiday season. There isn't a better gift than Roback. It's no secret Roback will be my go-to gift this holiday season, and it should be yours too. Performance joggers, performance hoodies.
My dad is getting that exact shirt.
Is he?
Maybe that one you're holding. Okay,
We
but
love this stuff.
It's a great looking shirt. It's got everything you would want in terms of like Chicago little icons, but it's not like overpowering. Like you kind of have to look at it close to get all the details. It's so sweet. Like, they did a great job. They knocked that out of the park. So it's an awesome shirt.
And listen, like, they have something for everybody, too.
Really
if this is
do.
a little too flashy for you, look at what Dave's wearing.
I wear this hoodie 3-4 times a week.
I think we had an ad for them yesterday, and I made a comment like, I don't think you've taken the joggers off since you
I
got
don't.
them. Yeah.
No.
Are you wearing?
I wore these under my bibs when we went hunting last week.
Yeah.
Got home immediately, threw them in the wash so I could
Put them back on.
Put them back on. If you walk into Barstool HQ, so we got a box of this shit sent to us. And I didn't even know like what it was or who they were or anything. Obviously, I try on the clothes, and I get to Barstool HQ the next week. This is like a month back. And I would say I'm not even embellishing. Like half the office is wearing this hoodie in various colors because it's that comfortable. And that's like, I'm taking sales pitch aside. I love this hoodie.
Yep.
And the jogger. I got the joggers on too.
It's no longer an ad. It's just a personal endorsement.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Guys, it's
the
beautiful
truth.
stuff. Use code DOG on roback.com for 20% off all new customers. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all polos, Q-zips, hoodies, and joggers with code DOG. The best part is they'll be releasing new gear throughout the holiday season, and you're not going to want to miss out. So go get your holiday shopping
What's
done
that promo
early.
code one more time?
DOG.
Dog.
And
So
make
this
sure
is
to check them out at roback.com.
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I tune out during that last part of the ad read. 20% off.
That's a lot.
That's Black Friday, Cyber Monday all the time. Just use that promo code DOG.
Act
That's
fast though. I think it
crazy.
only lasts the week. So
Okay, well,
I
get
believe
on
it'll-
it.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
on it.
I think it only lasts the week for the week that they sponsored the show. So
Okay.
make sure you're acting this week.
Dog.
All right, listen. It's the Untold series. We've done a bunch of these. We did Malice at the Palace. We did the Manti Te'o one. We had Chapman and McLean Way on this show.
Yep.
The directors, producers, the creators of the series on Netflix. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. It's super short, super quick. If you're a kid of the 90s, if you're anyone who picked up a basketball, I loved it.
Me too.
I thought it was good. Yeah.
It was great.
It was good.
Did it make you want to try to get over the yips?
Well, considering that I got back on the court about 3 weeks ago and I fucking
that's right.
pulled my back, no. Because I've been asking, my buddy's been asking me to get back out there, and I'm just like perpetually afraid to get into it again. So, I don't
You've
think
had a
so.
lot of rough times on the basketball
know.
court.
I just
what was it? Broken ankle.
Yeah, I'm
The
just-
yips. You yoink your back.
Yeah,
Cursed.
I suck.
Cursed.
Yeah.
I'm just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just sit there and set picks and screens.
I do.
Okay.
Who
But
wants,
you just your competitive
who wants
nature
to
just
make
takes over.
contact with people? Set picks.
I do. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
so top of the one thing I didn't like. Well, it's not even the documentary's
suck.
fault. It's just there's no way around it. Is I didn't know the real names aside from their stage names. So a lot of times they'd refer, like, because they're interviewing all the former and
Yeah.
one guys, and those guys, they don't call each other, Skip to my Lou
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They would refer to them. And I know Rafer Alston had
That's
an
the
awesome
one.
NBA career.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the league until 2010.
It's one of
Which is-
those. Listen, it's one of those things where I look back and honestly, it's hard for me to believe that N1 is not still around because they had such a good brand in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Well, they explained why.
and
Kinda.
they did, but they didn't. There is still a market for. Like,
Yeah. Well, and it's obvious because we interviewed Tracy McGrady. He's trying to start a one-on-one league. There's the Big Three.
Yeah.
There's the fucking summer tournament. What's
the
the
TBT.
the TBT?
Yeah.
Like there are all these summertime different types of basketball leagues, tournaments that have various types of TV deals, and they tour and whatever. None of them have captured America
Not
in
even
that
close.
market.
Not even close.
Like And1, and they're all using former big names. And1 was just like, no, like, we're just going to make up this name. We're not even really going to have rules, and it's going to be fucking awesome. So I think you're right that they did the proof of concept, and then it went away, and it's almost like they need like some other big brand. Maybe we should brand back. We'll just go out to the west side and find some guys.
I mean, dude, there's. It doesn't make it like because it was so cool. The little shirts, and does it make it cool or more like corny now that it's just like three white dudes
a
in like
Wharton business
yeah,
school
just
guy?
two
just
Whartons-
writing I'll
Wharton
steal your
guys and
girl
a
like I steal
Stanford
the
guy.
ball. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? At a pizza parlor in like Connecticut.
Okay,
I
so we
was
got to throw back.
stunned.
Yeah. I
Did
didn't
you
know
guys
that.
have
Yeah.
those shirts?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Every
they
one
were
of them.
so-
The trash talk shirts were so awesome, and I don't know why, but
I loved them.
like because I haven't thought about N1 in 2 decades now, and for some reason, the way I remember it is I separated the AN1 mixtape tour from those clothes, but I had those clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like two different things to me, but obviously it was all intertwined.
And
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, because I never really watched the tour at all.
I watched
really?
it. It was like
I watched it.
We did.
you?
It was like when I came home. I remember getting off the bus and
or
coming home from
you
school
have
and
a
it was
sick
on.
day, and they would do the reruns. The sick day, and like I would watch it for I watched SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you got tired of SportsCenter, you flip on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was definitely very aware of it. Like
Yeah.
I knew Skip to My Lou, I knew Hot Sauce, I knew it was going on, but I just never got into it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would try to do like some of the things. Like I got to a point where I was like pretty good at dribbling the basketball with my knees, like walking down the court or walking up the driveway. And then my dad one day was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing like." He's like, "When are you ever going to use that?" And I was like, "All right, you're right." I just stopped immediately. So,
But that was also kind of cool. Towards the end of the doc, they showed it was highlights from the current NBA, like Steph Curry and all these guys like doing moves, and Chris Paul was one of them. Like that were birthed in the AN1 tour.
okay, so I was going to bring up that point too. Is I think that the AN1 tour had an impact on how the game is played.
Oh, definitely.
At the NBA level. Do you think Kyrie Irving has like the handles that he has if he was born 20 years before? I think there's like an element of everybody has to have guard skills, handling the ball and having a handle is cool. And then, like, I do think part of that, like Allen Iverson was around at that
Jason
same.
Williams too.
But Jason Williams, like he was AN1.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's what like there is. You watch docs like these, and then it's always like there is also another side to things.
Totally,
where it's
yeah.
like there are guys like that who did exist that tell a
White
different
chocolate.
part of the story.
Yeah.
White chocolate. Yeah, I
know.
because of the AN1 tour, I absolutely fucking loved watching Sacramento Kings games because of White Chocolate.
Yeah, those teams were fun.
Because he would do all the fake behind the backs, and it was entertaining as shit. And like you see the evolution of the NBA coming from like the early '90s with, and especially like not even in the early '90s. You get into like the early 2000s, like Ben Wallace and the Pistons, where he was just beating the shit out of guys going into the paint. Now it's such a guard, flashy, oriented league, and that there can't be a coincidence. Like it had to have, at least in part, came from AN1.
I think at least in part, yeah.
In part, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool story, but like always, money was the divisive factor.
Yeah. Back to your point real quick then about how there's a market and they're like, it just went away. Those guys, the Wharton guys, all these people being like, you know what killed our entire business? One commercial by Nike.
That was crazy.
Great. Like, well, let's just give up.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what that was. Now, I remember that commercial. That commercial was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and they tried to adopt some of the like the AN1 stuff, but like, couldn't they just come back and be like, yeah, like Nike's trying, like, I don't know,
Nike's
like,
trying to be us,
right? And they didn't really seem like they fought it at all then or even now. They're just like, yeah, they went freestyle and killed us.
Yeah,
We sold to a sporting goods.
I mean, that commercial was so big. It was like it became a spoof in Scary Movie 2.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that actually because I don't think I've seen.
Say that.
Yeah, it's one of my. That's my strong.
I
hand.
use my strong hand.
Yeah, that's like one of my. I love that.
No
movie.
one knows that quote. It's one of those YK quotes.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used my strong hand.
Yeah.
Stuffed the shit out of it. Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
That's a total tangent.
But I would say definitely the biggest, the thing that I learned the most was the shoe thing, and it's like we need to get our guy,
Yeah.
and our guy is going to be Stephon Marbury.
Which I think was probably a good choice for them.
Yeah,
In a lot of ways.
I mean, look at it
They
too,
just
and
got
like
shit luck with it.
and like in their brand, like Stephon Marbury became a very impactful person in the shoe industry and the shoe game
$5
for
shoes.
different reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, because he made the Stephen Barry deal and because he made Starburys that were super cheap. But then he busted his ankle. And I tried to look and do some research about when that happened, if that story like all ended up. And it was harder to find than I realized, like if that was actually the first game and whatnot. But that was interesting.
Yeah. And then
You know.
so it's like they probably thought that they were dead in the water then. And then
They said they
right.
thought
And
that,
then
yeah.
they pivot and they really come full circle with Vince in the dunk contest unsolicited wearing and one shoes. And it was like, wait, like we paid this guy. He was going to film a video of himself throwing his shoes in the trash because he had a broken ankle and like kill our business. And then you fast forward, what was it, probably 8 years, something like that?
A while, yeah. It was a minute.
And it's like we've become so culturally relevant that the greatest dunker in the history of the dunk contest is wearing our shoes for free. And then 2 weeks later, Nike killed him with the ad or whatever it was. But it was like very.
They even said in that dunk contest that he was supposed to sign with Nike like right after that, and he was opting to wear those shoes anyways, which was the cool part.
Yeah.
And I never even realized that until the documentary because we've all seen that 360 windmill dunk in was that 02? I believe it was 02.
Yeah, I think
in that
was
dunk
like
contest.
Bad with dates.
Yeah.
It did make me want to go see a basketball game, though. And if you want to go see a basketball game, the Game Time app is an exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Give the gift of an awesome experience this holiday season with Game Time. If you're nervous that your present won't arrive in time or simply forget to holiday shop, Game Time tickets get delivered to your phone and inbox instantly. Game Time has all the best tickets, and you'll get an awesome price on them. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, now's the time. We've been using Game Time all year. Went to a ton of games and concerts. You've seen a couple concerts, right, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of concerts.
Yes. Yeah. You into UFC, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You in New York, Madison Square Garden, your favorite arena in the country.
That's okay.
Very unique.
It's a very decent arena.
Bears, Niners.
Yep.
Boston College, Notre Dame.
Dave's actually a big college basketball guy. At least he used to be a big Northwestern guy. I was scrolling through the app just looking for gifts and stuff last week. Northwestern basketball popped up. $1 tickets.
You can go for free well, not basically.
$1. So you get on that game.
Not saying that Game Time's going to pay you $19 to go to the game, but you'll get $20 off with promo code.
Promo code Dog Walk. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code Dog Walk for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Download Game Time last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. And then I guess kind of, coming to the end here as far as the N1 discussion, as far as really I'm concerned, it just you kind of knew where it was going to end. At least I did. I always was like, there's a lot of guys in that team, and a
lot of money being thrown around.
A lot of money being thrown around, and there's where there's a roster, there's certainly going to be people promoted more, and there's certainly going to be people more happier with that than others. I knew that there would be some type of squabble, and there certainly was.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where it's like, nobody wanted to talk about money, and and then they're like, nobody's really making any money, and then they do like the cribs basically, and like, this guy had a fucking car that would talk. So it's like which one is it?
We hated that fucking car.
Yeah. So it's like, and they're showing their jewelry, and the professor, like, I never talked about money, and he's like, I tried not to talk about money, and then they flip back, and he's like showing his, like, he's got all these diamond stud earrings and the diamond stud cross, and it's like, well, dude, like, even if you don't say it, like, you're wearing it. Like, you're wearing all your, like, you're showing it, and you're throwing it in people's faces. So, yeah, I do think that that was an issue. And then, but at the end, and those guys were like pissed about the money. And I have mixed feelings about that because, they're not really taking any risk, like this, like the other companies, they're making millions, and like they're giving us pizzas and, $90,000 a year, but it's like, it's $90,000 a year for like 2.5 months of work. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you got 9 months to fuck off and do whatever you want. And, so maybe they should have been making more. I don't know. But it was like they signed the contract.
Well, like you said, they should have been, from the jump, they should have been paid as, they should have got stock options. They should have been
worked they should have negotiated for that.
Yeah. Like that would have been a better way to work those guys in. And they would have felt more like partners rather than
probably
employees.
Yes, exactly. And
but I also get that. Like, people were going out to see a handful of guys, and we've named them all. Hot Sauce, Skip to My
all
Lou,
the names
Professor.
You remember.
Right, all the names you remember. So if you're one of the guys we don't remember, you probably shouldn't have been making as much, but you were still, like Chief said, it was only, it grew, but it started off like 6 East Coast cities for like a couple months.
They really started with Rucker.
Yeah, of course, right. Rucker Park. We'd be remiss not. So on that note, we had in Warrenville growing up, we had Kiwanis Park, and this guy, I don't know whatever
Same thing,
happened with
basically,
it.
I'm sure.
But he had, they were like, because we would play on this basketball court because of and one so fucking much that the nets would just like disintegrate, and they
Yeah.
would, and basically you were playing on just a no rim, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So this guy
Chain nets?
patented it wasn't a chain net, it was like a wire net. And he would go there all the time and try to tinker with it and make, because the ball would stick in him sometimes when it
Yeah.
was cold. So he was always tinkering with it because we were using that court so much in the entire neighborhood. We turned it into our own like little suburban
Yeah.
Rucker Park.
So I was watching the doc, obviously, and then thinking about like playing with your buddies. You know what I just really miss? I just miss playing Knockout. Knockout
shit
was
like
the
that.
fucking
Knockout is great.
That was the. Would you play Knockout at the new office if we get it?
Sure.
All right, good. All right, we'll see you there.
Sure. I'll be terrible.
That's a non-committal shirt, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be dog shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
I'll
Do you know what this guy was?
I'll fling it at the rim and I'll shoot my layups. But
I know this for a fact, even though I never knew Dave when he was a kid. He was the kid who would get his own rebound, and then if your rebound was nearby, he would smash
he
your
just
ball as
fucking
far
threw it.
as he
it was
fucking
part of
could.
it was part of the game.
he'd fling your ball to the fucking
Yeah,
moon.
right. And then you're taking
Asshole.
a half. Yeah. What do you say? Part of the game. Like,
Part
no,
of
it's
the game.
fucking
Don't
not.
hate the player, hate the game.
Were you a temper tantrum guy?
I'm not a basketball court.
Remember the people that would do? They would just fucking spike the ball and just fucking go nuts.
I want to say this was like fourth grade. Before school and then every recess, it was basically the entire fourth grade class would play. It would be like 50 people in a game. And then it got like as intense as fourth grade basketball could probably be, fourth or fifth grade, something like that. Because then everybody would just stand around and watch. And if like you made it to the finals, which I don't know, I don't think I ever, I know I never won one, but I don't even think I ever get to the finals. But it was like so intense, and it happened every single day. Like knockout was the fucking best.
Fuck yeah, it was. And then it's just a shame, man, because and one was cool, and it's hard to be cool, you know. Like, remember Data? Data was a brand that came in for a split second. You guys might have been. You guys might have aged out. Chris Webber was sponsored by them for a little bit.
No,
he made
I
a
don't
shoe
know this.
brand for a little bit with them.
I don't remember
And
this at all.
It was like, that's
Okay.
kind of lame. And then Shaqs were kind of lame.
Mm-hmm.
But and ones were like, all right,
Yeah.
those are cool.
They were cool.
And I just looked up. Apparently, Fred Van Vliet is with and one. So
they're back, kind of.
They're gonna come back after this. Watch.
Okay.
Someone's gonna
How
see
old
the
is
vision.
this doc? I know it's from this year, but when did it come out? Is it like very recent?
They probably dropped it a month or two ago after the like in the
Manti.
block with the Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it was good though. I give it a thumb up.
Yeah. You're a nostalgia guy. And this
Yes.
is a nostalgia play.
Yeah,
for
to
sure.
watch it, yeah.
It's nothing I'll ever watch again, but go watch it once. It's an hour long.
What's up with those? This reminds me, as a non-hockey guy, those people always like to talk about the Jofa helmets.
I had a Jofa.
What's the deal with those?
I
Is that
think
a thing?
those are, to my knowledge, and like I'm kind of out of the loop on the newer hockey stuff, but all the stuff that I loved when I was a kid, I had a skate company called Doust Skates. I had the Jofa helmet, and my favorite player was Peter Forsberg. And so I feel like a lot of the European guys, and then plus like Mario Lemieux, he had a Jofa helmet at least for a while. And so did Yager, and then
I remember Yager did.
And then for whatever reason, I don't know if they went bankrupt or what, but and they only ever really
I found heads.
the Soviet Union CCP for people not looking at Dave's computer, and yeah, it's like you can only really get them on eBay. I'll pull up the Wikipedia now. The founder of the company died in 2002, and then it looks like the company is just kind of defunct.
Went
They
extinct.
got bought by Reebok, and then Reebok's hockey stuff just
Kinda
kind of
went
sucks.
Reebok's everything kind of stinks.
Yeah, and like they used to. I remember when Reebok first got on the scene, like they had Crosby like in 05, and it was just, but like the bubble helmet was sick, and then it like when I got older, when I was like 18, and then into college, people would fucking kill for the bubble like the cage. Did you have that, Harry? Do you remember that the Jofa stuff and the bubble cage, or were you too young for that?
I remember it. Yeah.
Okay, so like the bubble cage, and it wasn't like a bubble, like a plastic bubble. It was like the bird cage, and it was just shaped a little bit differently, and it fit a little bit differently. And people would like find them on eBay. They would trade them. They would do all these things and like attach them to like your Bauer or whatever helmet you had. But that was like, oh shit, like that guy's got a little bit of flair. If you got a Bauer helmet and a Jofa cage, then you're fucking mint. Like you're special. Yeah.
What is some other stuff in the graveyard, in the sporting goods graveyard that is?
Well, the big one they just brought back for hockey.
What's that?
The Easton Synergy Silver Stick. It's the greatest stick that ever.
Easton Synergy Silver Stick.
And like you can buy, they just re-released them, and it was. I'm not joking. I would say 95% of hockey players at when that thing was at its peak had that stick, and you had like the Iginla curves, the Eisman Sackett curve. Like I was a Sackett curve guy, and like, or if you played D, maybe you had like the Lidstrom curve. So they're always named after a player. That's kind of gone away now too. Now it's like
that's how baseball gloves used to be.
They were named after a guy.
I think that might have been more for lesser competitive players, maybe. But like once I got to high school and college and was still playing. Like, I used to have a glove that was signed, embroidered by Ken Griffey Jr. and Don Mattingly growing up.
I vaguely kind of remember.
Like, in the palm of the glove.
Yeah.
It would say, like, Ken Griffey Jr., and it'd be his actual autograph. Obviously, it was embroidered into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those exist anymore.
Yeah, and, like, the sticks now, they'll just be like, oh, S77.
Yeah,
like,
some
it's
weird
not
name,
like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. And it's not, like, linked to a player, but it's like if you were using the Iginla or the Sack stick, they were using the exact same blade in the game. So it was just like how they liked it, because Sakic had like a little, like you can have the curve or you can have a toe curve, you can have a heel curve. It could be more flat. It could be, like all these different, it could be open. It could be closed toe. There's all these different little tweak, variations to your blade. And it's like some guys are in it, and it was just like one of those like cool things where it's like, I could just say, if you're a hockey player listening to this and you're like my age, like, I say Sakic curve, everybody knows what that means. Everybody knows exactly what that means. Curve. And it was cool. And then I don't know why they went away from that. You would think that it would like help sales, but it didn't. And, I've become friendly with the guy Colby Cohen, who does the Blackhawks stuff with Pat Boyle, pre and post game. He's in between the benches. And like he got one of the re-releases. And to me, like I don't really play. Like I hardly ever play, so I wasn't going to drop $250 or whatever they're going for on a stick. But he sent me like a text with a picture of it. And I was like, fuck, yeah. I am so goddamn jealous of having those. And they didn't change really a thing. It's not like where they re-release a Ford Bronco. It's like, that's not a Ford Bronco. It's like, that is the Easton Synergy. It's so sweet. So, Mom, if you're listening, Christmas is right around the corner.
Just so it can sit in the corner so you can look at it and be like, oh, man, I love that stick 20 years ago.
For the next Chicklets Cup.
My baseball bat, unfortunately, you can't use it anymore. So my senior year of college, they went from, it was BESR certified bats to BB Core bats. So we had a shed, and I worked, it was basically a landscaping crew at my shitty D3 college. It was a work study thing. And I had the keys to the shed. So when they made the rules that it was something about the coefficient or something, basically metal bats when I was a junior, in between my junior and senior year, were so technologically advanced that they became dangerous to use.
I remember like guys were getting hit in the head.
Yeah. And, like balls. I used, it was what fucking was it? It was a red bat. Why am I blanking on the brand? Anyways, it was a drop. So I used a 34-31, and bats had to be 3 ounces. The weight of the bat had to be 3 ounces less than the height of the bat. So I used a 34-inch, 31-ounce bat.
Drop 3 or
I swear to God, that bat was like drop 7.
Okay.
And I could throw up a ball, and if I hit the sweet spot, you could launch this thing over just about any major league fence.
Steroids, but in a bat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we rounded up all the bats that were now illegal, and we took them over to the Play It Again Sports and sold them all for like $30, knowing that they wouldn't have any fucking clue because it was some high school kid. So we made a couple $100 on all these bats.
You fleeced a small business?
Yeah. Play It Again Sports is nationwide.
But their whole thing is like
college kids.
Yeah.
But growing up, my bat was the Omaha Gold. and it was the same thing. If you hit the sweet spot, you didn't even feel the ball make contact with the bat, and it just fucking flew off the bat. And now they're more like, they're supposed to be more similar to wood bats where they don't fly off. But if I had this Omaha Gold right now in my hands, it's $47 on eBay. This is a 30-22, so this is a little league bat, not high school bat. I would go to the park right now and just fucking pepper balls.
Hit dingers.
Yeah, just hit dingers.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Did you
damn,
have
I
a thing
love
like
those
that? Did you have an item that you're like, man, this is, or a pair of shoes or
Not really.
No.
I mean, I don't like.
spikes? Well, you're a lineman.
Yeah, and there's not really. Yeah, because specific to you guys, there's a bat or a stick.
Yeah. I
I
guess there really is.
There's not really a.
What kind of football helmet did you have?
It was just a right L.
No, I mean mask type.
Just an evolution helmet. There was
Okay.
no lineman. Whatever they gave me, you don't.
Okay.
You don't customize your face mask as a kid.
Well, not as a kid, but I remember in high school football,
you just pray that you don't get a fucking shitty face mask because
Yeah.
people know if you got a shitty face mask,
suck.
You
fucked.
stink.
Yeah, you stink. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you got a shitty face
yeah.
mask, you get made fun of.
Well, my first practice I had for football at Berkshire, they gave me and I was playing linebacker and fullback running back, and they gave me the Brian Urlacher,
Can't have that.
the huge comes all the way down here, all of the bars. It was basically one giant sheet of metal with an eye slit. If you remember, everyone knows
Yep.
the Urlacher mask. And I went in and we needed a quarterback, and I knew I couldn't be quarterback, but I'm like, I'll take reps at quarterback. And
Oh, it's a sneaky move.
Just so you could.
yeah. So I was like, hey, I don't know, I can't see through this. So then I got the Dion face mask that had the 2 bars here and then the 3 below. And then I had that the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Sick.
that if you it was like a status symbol. If you had the quarterback face mask, you were the cool kid.
Yeah.
You were the skill player. You were you were one of the players on the team that all the chicks were after and shit.
One thing I couldn't do, the visor. I fucking hated the visor in hockey, the plastic visor, and I hated the visor in football.
I never had one.
We had one
I
kid
tried
my
it
senior
for a
year who
week.
didn't have a evolution helmet. That was tough.
Ugh.
Just one.
I remember
He
my
has to
freshman
quit.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have just quit.
My
think he
freshman
did.
year was of high school was the year that evolution helmets came out, and the school bought a bunch, but it was for the varsity kids, and they were supposed to be the concussion helmets. You remember that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the evolution
Yeah.
helmets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was one sitting on the desk, and I was only a freshman, so I should have had 0 dibs on it. But I'm like, can I try that one on? And it fit perfectly, and they let me wear it. So I was
That's
the only
stunning.
one my freshman year to have the evolution helmet.
And you got kind of a round noggin. I feel
Yeah.
You do
I-
kind of have a very symmetrical head.
yeah.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know.
I would say.
You think? I really have no idea, but you do have
I'll never forget the
You got-
pressure
you-
it put on your forehead, and I just could not wait to get those fucking helmets off there.
yeah. Oh, that was the worst. But
It
you
was
do
the
have
worst.
a volleyball just sitting on top of a mannequin.
You do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this.
What? You got a fucking 28.5 revel.
Yeah.
That's
It's a perfectly round head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of small
I guess I'll
too.
take
Maybe
it.
that's why you were so fast, because you're just aerodynamic.
Among other reasons, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I remember when I would get the ball, I wouldn't lower my shoulder. I would lower my head, and if you hit crown of head versus crown of head, people I was always the biggest kid until I was a sophomore in high school. You would just bounce off people with that helmet.
Sounds nice.
It's a great
Dangerous.
helmet. It's
Yeah.
a great helmet.
It was flashy
At least
too.
now it's probably so fucking outdated.
Yeah.
Have you noticed they have those new ones where it goes
Yeah.
the visor goes
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and it comes
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. There's a lot
it's
of guys in
weird.
the Cowboys with it. I
Yeah.
noticed.
Do you remember
Zeke
that
has it.
the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
concussion helmet? So I don't know if you will. You might.
It
was
can I
like
tell
an
you something?
actual.
I know what the evolution helmet is. Those were not around when I was playing football. I was too old.
Yeah,
for those.
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. I was
We were
gonna
just
say.
like-
You were, yeah.
Because we were just getting our
ending.
bell rung.
It came to be a thing when I was in 7th grade.
It was
and
my
that was
freshman year,
2004. Yeah, so 2004. So that was 2000.
Yeah.
You were a
Yeah.
freshman. I was in
Yeah.
7th grade. Yeah.
Prior to that, no one will remember this name, but John Butcher. Do you guys remember John Butcher?
I
don't know.
No, John Butcher. He was a quarterback at my high school on the '98 state championship team. He ended up being a quarterback at Iowa and Illinois. And he was in I'm sure it's still there at Wheaton Warmville South, but he was in do you remember Faces in the Crowd in Sports Illustrated? Yeah. He was in that because he set the national record his senior year for touchdown passes in a season. He had 60. Wow. And ended up, he was a national level recruit, went to Iowa, then ended up at Illinois. But he wore in high school, it was a separate helmet, like a Red Grange helmet, on top of his actual helmet.
Oh, those are like the original concussion ones. Like
the original, yes.
I feel like Steve Young might have worn one of those in a game before. Like if you had, it was just like, how do we fix this concussion problem? Just throw another helmet on top of a helmet.
Yeah, and it was like a leather thing. I've never worn one myself, and
it was leather.
It was. I don't know if it was leather, but it was like a soft. It would wrap around the top of a helmet.
I'm remembering the double. Like there was an era in the 90s where certain guys just basically had another helmet on top of their helmet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it wasn't leather. It was like an extra plastic.
I remember it being like a leather-ish substance. I could be very wrong there, but yeah, I'm trying to look up pictures. Can't find anything.
Did you have a driveway hoop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering, because you're a city kid. I didn't know, because I feel like there's a park in every corner. So, like, what's the need for
I'm a city. I don't have a yard, per se. My yard's very small, but I was lucky I lived on a corner.
Okay.
So I did have, like, a little bit of a driveway.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's why, it was, but, yeah, that's kind of how it worked.
Right. You probably just did more time, like, just fucking around going to the park with, like, all the neighborhood kids. Yeah.
But our parks don't have hoops.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Hiawatha Park, no hoops.
It did, but they took down the rims before. Yeah,
that was.
They took down the rims, and they made it into a hockey place.
Well, that would be fucking nice. I've been pulling my hair out trying to get a place. I found a company to donate a rink for us to play somewhere in the city, and I can't find somebody to like let us put it on a tennis court in the winter.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Now they made it like soccer though.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know. It's kind of tough.
We had one when we first moved to Illinois. We had the kind that you would fill with sand. The base was sand or water, and then you could like kind of drag it around and put it into place. And my dad, every day for probably 4 years, hit it with his car. Like backing out.
God damn it.
Yeah. But not even like a god damn it he was, I don't know if he's just like a bad driver or what, but he would be like backing out, and he had some kind of SUV, and he would know that he could make the turn out of that, like kind of our driveway was kind of shaped weird, and he would just back into it until he hit the basketball hoop, and then he would scoot out. Yeah.
But the thing is, a lot of our hoops were in the alleys.
I've seen that just walking the dog here too.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of
so like all weird. Our buddies, it's like, hey, you want to go?
Yeah.
Want to go to the alley?
That is kind of
above the garage, just a little hoop.
A weird thing about I feel like this is more of a thing. At least when I lived in like Ukrainian village, like Wicker Park, and I would walk the dog. Like some of those corner places are like palaces, and then they'll pave over the yard. There was, I want to say, it was on like. Maybe like
city's weird in that
Hoyne and Iowa.
I think I know exactly what
there's
you're
this house,
about.
and it's just like I would love to live there. I would love. They have like a full court or at least half court basketball, and they have hockey and lacrosse nets, and they're just like it's probably just some like 13-year-old kid, and he's just like has all the sports right there. In his yard. Yeah. But it is weird like that. It's like every like normal house. Multifamily, like my building is like a condo building, and then like right across the street is like mansions.
Yeah, it's weird.
Very weird.
It's weird. Yeah. It's just a crapshoot kind of. Just like how the city was branched.
But it's more so in that part of the town, that Wicker Park, I think.
All right then. Thanks, boys. It was fun to go down memory lane.
You don't want to go down memory lane about your favorite sporting goods store?
My favorite sporting goods store?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all gone, right? Besides Dick's. Dick's is like the last of the Mohicans.
What was Dick's before it was Dick's?
Galleons,
bro.
Galleons.
Fuck yeah.
I was more of a Galleons guy. And because I used to love that.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I went to Dick's recently. Dick's is really good.
Yeah.
They got a lot of good stuff.
They sell our shit there.
They do, yeah.
Especially the golf stuff.
It's all
like because you know,
and our stuff too, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a mall guy, and you know, well established as you got. We did fucking Jasper Mall.
Yeah.
But I've gone to fucking Foot Locker and Champs, and then gone. They have stuff that like all those places don't have. Dick's don't sleep on Dick's. Dick's is solid.
Dick's is fine. There's a nice one in Geneva Commons. I remember like but that was like I can't remember when that was built. Maybe like when I was getting towards the end of high school there, but there used to be a Galleons where we would like make a trip, and it was at that. Why am I having such a bad memory day? Like Oak Brook, where the
That's the one I would go to.
where's that IKEA?
Schaumburg.
Woodfield.
Woodfield.
It was Woodfield.
Yeah.
It was Woodfield. And like Woodfield had like the Maggiano's and like some of those kind of
Woodfield's
restaurants.
so sick.
Woodfield was incredible. And then you go to Galleons and it was like, what is this place? It's fucking huge. And they had the rock wall in there. So
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
You know, so and that was like perfect when I was a kid, because I love to do like anything, all that sort of shit. So my parents would go off and do like the Christmas shopping, buying stuff for me, and I would just be waiting in line, trying to, you know, waiting my turn to do the rock climbing wall. And then it was just like, that was always like, it was like a special day. Like, hey, we're going up to Woodfield and I'm going to do the rock climb wall. It was sick.
For sure. No, don't sleep on Dick's. It's a good spot.
Yeah. They never had good hockey stuff, which is why I always like.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, you have to go to specialty
Sports
place.
Authority closed. Like,
Yep.
It's yeah.
Playing Against Sports is hanging on. Gunzo's hanging on.
Gunzo's is still.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those specialty hockey ones are.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I'm gonna go to the Gunzo's on Madison. I get my skates baked so my feet stop bleeding.
The one that I would go to is on the East Coast. I remember I was at my grandparents' house in New Jersey. This is what was Jeremy Shockey's rookie year?
Like 2.
It was around then. That sounds
he
about
was
right.
on
Because
that
I was like
01,
14,
like Miami team.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. So he would have been like 02, 03.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. It was a preseason game in like July. It was like the first preseason game. Jeremy Shockey caught a pass in the flat, and he turns it up the sideline and just completely fucking steamrolled somebody. And I was like, I love that guy. It was like the truck stick in Madden. And the next day I made my grandparents take me. It was Modell's. Did you guys have that in Connecticut?
Not that I recall.
It was like
I
their
know the
version
name, and
of
it's like
Sports
Art
Authority.
Modell's is, It's closed, though.
Yeah.
Is it closed? I figured
Yeah,
it probably would, but I had them literally the next morning take me to Modell's to get a Jeremy Shockey jersey, and they were sold out, and I was pissed. And I ended up getting one. I still might have it somewhere, actually. It was a Jeremy Shockey Giants jersey.
He was like the sweetest player for about a year and a half.
I loved him.
Beast.
Loved him. Just a beast, a headhunter.
Beast of a man. All right, boys. That's it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. I swapped days a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.